opposite, the distance 4 lengths. In race number 11, Wallingford Rowing Club beat Lee Rowing Club in a distance of 1.5 lengths. And in the fourth race, race number 12 on the programme, Sons of the Thames was unfortunately disqualified, meaning that Durham University go through to the next round tomorrow. Oh, sorry, no, I didn't mention. Okay.
No, don't. Do it.
Unless it is.
And as we're waiting for the last heat of the senior lightweight single sculls between Ruth Morris from Commercial Rowing Club in Ireland and Laura MacDonald from Edinburgh University, have we got the result of that close race yet, Lizzie?
Half a canvas. Half a canvas is what they
Okay, so Fullman, City of Bristol, Fullman, Hazel Fullman from the City of Bristol got the better of Anna Shreve. She was only ahead for the last 1 or 2 strokes of the race, and the judge's verdict was half a canvas. I think half a canvas is probably, what, about 8 foot? Yeah. Meantime, the last heat, which I did announce a few moments ago, of the senior lightweight single sculls has now on the course. And just to remind you, we've got Ruth Morris from Commercial Rowing Club Ireland and Laura MacDonald from Edinburgh University in this. And
well credentialed.
Wow. I'm just going wow because I'm just looking at Ruth Morris's CV. She's been rowing since she was 13. She completed for Ireland in the World Universities in 2014. And she came 4th in the lightweight doubles. And she raced here last year, and she's just come back from spending 2 years studying in America. So they're now
Hence the big profile.
Coming down towards us here, and we'll see how they're getting on here. At the moment, she is actually in 2nd place at the moment to Laura MacDonald from Edinburgh University, but of course Edinburgh now one of the bases, Edinburgh University, one of the bases for the GB Start programme. And so we're seeing some good athletes coming through from there. But as I see these 2 scullers just coming right towards us now, it is Laura MacDonald from Edinburgh University that at the moment has got the best of Ruth Morris. But as we saw in that race a few moments ago, it's who's in front when they pass the judges that matters, and these 2 scullers are still very close together. And of course, the curse of the commentators got there, and as I said, they were close together. Laura MacDonald leant on and pushed on, and has now opened a 1.5 length lead. So we're continuing to watch this last quarter final. The first, there's in fact, I've got that wrong. There are in fact 8 first round heats in senior lightweight single sculls. It's just they have split them on the programme into 4 and 4. There's me thinking they were quarter-finals. These are not. These are first-round races, the round of 16. And Ruth Morris and Laura McDonald still out there. And they're getting into the second half of their race now. And despite Ruth Morris's pedigree and her experience in World University Games, at the moment she's still being led by Laura McDonald from Edinburgh University. There was a length and a half between them. I think that's now been extended a little bit. And the first 8th race of the day is underway between Nottingham University on the enclosure side and Newcastle University on the far side. You can see there is a difference in boat speed between those and the scullers we've just been looking at. Unfortunately, somebody's chosen to stand in front of our camera down at the start. So we haven't seen what happened. It looks to me as though the first to show in that first academic 8th first round race is Newcastle University. And indeed, we can see Newcastle University have drawn out to nearly a length straight off the start. Newcastle University, of course, one of the medalists this year at the University Championships, and also one of the Great Britain start centres.
Do you want a tea or a coffee?
Cup of tea, please, John.
Sam, tea or coffee?
Coffee, please. 36 is Newcastle University, and they've already drawn out to a 2-length lead over Nottingham University. But to take you through to the next sequence of races, I'm going to hand over to Lizzie Chapman, who hopefully isn't too jet-lagged after flying in specially for Henley Women's Regatta from Australia yesterday. Lizzie, welcome to Henley Women's Regatta, and it's all yours.
Well, thanks, Stan, for that welcome. It's really lovely to be here. And of course, I'm exposed now to a group of crews and rowers that I don't know very well. But I am looking forward to the next 3 days and getting to catch up on European rowing, having headed over from Australia. Well, as we continue along this race here between the universities of Newcastle and Nottingham, this is the first of 4 of the women's academic 8s races that are taking place at this part of the regatta. And then there'll be 4 more a little bit later on so the races we're covering here now are race number 17, 18, 19 and 20 if you're following on the website and the programme there. So Newcastle University looking very relaxed there. The rating 28, good strong rhythm coming from that crew there. The crew from Nottingham University following behind by what looks like a 3 or 4 lengths now. Rating 35, so rate is up nice and high, but the power in the water not matching the rate. A very fine row coming from Newcastle University. They're looking really strong. A great rhythm. That Newcastle University crew, that's Lucy Stanhope, Phoebe Truitt, Sunday, Denton Chandler, Charlotte Dobson, Leanne Knight, Catherine Eccles and Anna van de Brack, stroked by Kate Woolley and coxed by Charlotte Hill. And as they progress on their way, Newcastle University is to a certain and rather commanding win over Nottingham University. Our next academic eights race is going off the start. And here we have York University against Birmingham University A.
Difficult to see from that angle, but it looks near side if you look out the window. No, it doesn't. Oh, it's far side.
University of York having taken a 3/4 length lead by the top of the island as they're coming in now to Temple Island Meadows. They're just maintaining that 3/4 of a length lead, so that's coming past the end of the island where they really start to feel the stream in the middle of the river. The crew on the inside keeping the rate up nice and high now, 42.5 still. The York University crew now having settled into a rhythm at 34.5. But it's York.
This is out the
And if you're watching the live stream now, you can see from the camera footage that it's still relatively close. The crew from Birmingham having extended now their lead to over a length. But the crew from York University certainly not prepared to give up their hopes of progressing through to the Saturday of Women's Henley Regatta just yet. Still keeping their rate of striking up nice and high. As they have progressed down the course, their rowing looking more and more clean. They have a tandem rig in the middle of their boat, which would, in fact, 2 tandem rigs in the middle of the boat, which one would hope serve to allow a little bit more power to be transmitted and also make up for a lack of experience that we often get in academic eights. Certainly seems to have served them well off the start, but it's the middle of the race that's really important, and it's Birmingham University who seem to have got themselves into a good steady rhythm. They have a traditional rigged boat. And they look to be rowing with confidence, rhythm and power, and to be just sitting nicely just ahead of the crew from York University as they progress through the Copus office buildings and the regatta enclosure, moving down now towards the end of the race course. And as that race progresses, we move now to the start of the third of the Academics 8 races. And this race we have Bristol University A crew against Cardiff University. Cardiff University, this time having to push their way through the swirly bit of wind at the in the middle of the Temple Island, and Cardiff University taking great advantage of that, looking very neat as they move now through to the Temple Island meadows.
Bristol near side, Cardiff far.
I have got the results.
So the crew from Cardiff University, listed number 1 on our programme, has the crew of Anita Rosenwald, Heather Stewart, Marina De Vecchis, Charlotte Eales, Imogen Freethy, Lauren Wareham, Zoe Wild, Miranda Clements and Isabel Fish. And they're looking very neat indeed as they move past our commentary position now. But Bristol University pushing,
33.
rating 33, have managed to squeeze past
35.
the crew from Cardiff University, rating 35. The Bristol University crew with plenty of power in the middle of the powerhouse part of the crew there. Crew number 14 on the lineup, and that's the crew of Cecilia Asmunds and Phoebe Beer, Alice Davies, Charlotte Greenwood, Sally Elphick, Alice Lovett, Natalie Rappaport, Jessica Pope and Sophie Margetts. Certainly rowing through the middle of the course now with great confidence.
34.
Up at rate 34 now as they move through the middle part of the race, and leading now by 3 lengths over the University from Cardiff, who are also rating 34. So the University of Bristol crew racing quite strongly now. They're coached by Edward Bloomfield, and all of the members of this crew learnt to row at the university. So Edward Bloomfield, he himself learnt to row at Teddy's, St Edward's College, Oxford, and went on to row for Royal Chester Club. He's been working with this women's squad for the past 2 years, and he'll be very happy indeed, I would imagine, with their race here. They've now extended their lead over the Cardiff University crew and look to be safely through to the Saturday races of our programme here at Women's Henley. Race number 20 on our programme, which is the 4th race in the Academics 8s event. The race now on between Chester University on the Berkshire station and Oxford University Women's Boat Club on the Buckinghamshire station. As they come through the Temple Meadows, the crew from Chester racing 37 strokes a minute. The crew from Oxford rating 34. The crew from Oxford racing in the yellow hull of an M-Packer with the dark, very familiar dark blue colours of Oxford University. Pushing some good puddles down the course now as they move through towards the regatta enclosure.
So what was the last result you had, sir?
The crew from Chester University.
They should still be doing the results because
Still racing a very gallant 37 strokes a minute, as opposed to Oxford, who are still sitting there pumping out 34, 35 strokes a minute. And those couple of pips might make all the difference in terms of how the boat feels, whether you're feeling power and rhythm or whether you're feeling slightly rushed. So University of Chester. Having a really big push now as they come towards the regatta enclosure and managing to make up a little bit of ground back against the Oxford University crew. But I think Oxford University looking very composed there as they row past the regatta enclosure, very level as well, a very stable platform in their boat, and looking at the body language of the cocks, they too are feeling very relaxed and confident. So that Oxford University crew, as I say, still looking very confident indeed. And in this crew we have Emma Carter, Hannah Stone, Juliet Perry, Sanya Broley, Amelia Van Alphen, Laura Deppner, Jessica Dunham, Anna Murgatroyd and Emile Roberts. And they have extended their lead now over the Chester University crew.